I am working at Antony Nolan. My job title is a called blood collector.
So what is Antony Nolan?
So it's a charity.
Right.
It was a little boy a few years ago who had a rare disease, you want to call it. He needed a bone marrow transplant.
Right.
But unfortunately there was no such thing as a register for a bone marrow transplant.
Right.
Can't get the words out. So his mother, well, unfortunately he passed away.
Oh.
So his mum ended up setting up a charity, basically.
Right.
And that's why we're here, Antony Nolan Charity. And basically you collect stem cells.
Right.
And it can treat patients with leukemia, blood disorders, blood cancers.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're also looking at other things as well, like diabetes and stuff like that they can cure.
Just from the stem cells?
Yeah.
So how do you get the stem cells then?
So my job's based at the hospital, so I work at two hospitals, St Mary's and Wythenshawe.
Yeah.
They do this at a few hospitals in the UK, the others are in London and Leicester.
Yeah.
But there's 5 hospitals that do it all in all. And what we've got to do, basically, we just work on the maternity ward. Yeah. And every woman that comes in to have a baby that's over 37 weeks pregnant, we approach to see if they'd like to donate their cord blood from their placenta.
Right.
So basically, it's a bit of an awkward one when people ask me what your job is. You can't just say cord blood collector because nobody knows what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm here for 15-20 minutes trying to explain what I do. So basically we explain the programme to the women, and all they have to do is donate their placenta.
Right.
So it's completely risk-free to the mum and the patient.
Yeah.
And the baby, sorry. So as soon as the baby's been delivered, that's when the midwife normally checks the placenta to make sure it's complete.
Yeah.
And it's normally discarded as clinical waste at that point.
Right. So rather than it being waste.
So rather than it being wasted,
yeah.
It literally just gets thrown away. It can be used. Well, some people do quite interesting things with placentas, believe it or not.
So what sort of things do they do?
Some people eat it.
Yes,
some people have it made into tablets.
Yeah.
Some people actually keep it attached to the baby. So like you wait for the cord to fall off. It's called a lotus birth.
Right.
And they wait for the actual placenta to drop off. So they believe the placenta's quite healthy and rich in nutrients and good for the baby. Yeah. Good for the mum, and that's why people tend to have it made into tablets or eat it or
keep it on the baby for a lot longer.
Attached to the baby. So
how, I just need to ask, so if it's attached to the baby, does it just naturally fall off itself?
I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
I'm not with the placenta that long to know, but I'm guessing just like the cord, it just drops off eventually.
Right.
But yeah, each to their own. I rather wouldn't do that. And like you said, there's no proven research to say how beneficial it is for you.
Yeah.
So it is beneficial to delay the cord, to clamp it for up to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to give the baby that extra bit of blood.
Yeah.
But also too much blood to the baby from the cord can cause jaundice as well.
Right.
Everyone's a bit thingy on delayed cord clamping and how much you get and how beneficial it is for you and stuff like that.
Right.
So but yeah, we kind of don't do that bit. We just collect the placenta.
Yeah.
Once we've got the placenta, we insert a needle into the cord and basically just push the rest of the blood that's left in the placenta through to the cord.
Right.
And then we collect it in a little bag.
Yeah.
And what we collect in a bag, depending on the volume, it should be good enough to be stored for transplant. And then it can cure patients with blood cancer, blood disorders and leukemia.
And how would they transplant the blood from the placenta into the patient?
So it's basically it goes and gets tested through Nottingham. They've got to make sure there's enough stem cells in for it to be able to be used as a stem cell transplant. They basically just, you're in hospital, send you to hospital, like you see, a blood bag at the side of you and just wires going in and the blood pumping around your body.
Right, okay.
So basically, stem cells reproduce new cells.
Right.
So say if you've got leukemia or blood cancer, your body stops fighting off infection.
Right.
These stem cells help reproduce new cells, and they can help fight off infection. So it just gives them patients longer
Longer.
life. Yeah, another chance really.
Yeah, and it can cure it, did you say?
It can cure it, yeah.
Yeah.
It can cure it. It can just help them a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Obviously, with stuff like leukemia, you've got chances of relapsing and stuff like that, and it coming back.
Yeah.
But obviously, the stem cells, if there is enough stem cells in, there's enough there to do the job. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Which it is. It's very rewarding. I love the job. I've been there for 10 years now.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
So that is a long time.
It is a very long time.
And is it shift work that you work?
Yeah, so we do a mixture of day and night shifts.
Yeah.
We did used to run over a 24-hour period, 24/7 we used to work.
Yeah.
But the work slightly changed now because we've got over 10,000 stored.
Right.
So the labs do close on a Friday and Saturday, so lucky for me, we're not in them days. But other than that, the other days we're open, Sunday to Thursday. We do work a mixture of day and night shifts.
Oh, lovely.
So it's 12-hour shifts, 7:30 till 8.
8. And then if you take a placenta, do you get informed if your placenta's been used on anything?
So for the patient side, no, because everything that's sent off, obviously for confidentiality reasons, we don't do it. And by the time the cord blood's been sent off, everybody's in numbers by then.
Yeah.
It does trace back to the patient, and all we say is if they do get an email from Antony Nolan checking on theirs and baby's health,
Yeah.
and we do say it's possibly, being used for something.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for confidentiality reasons,
You
they
can't.
don't find out, no.
Yeah.
However, this might sound a little bit naughty, but we do, as a collector, we find out where our collections go.
Right.
So every time one of mine is used on a patient, so they're normally banked for at least 5 years before they're used for transplant.
Yeah.
They've got to run all the tests and everything on them.
Yeah.
So before they're used, they're in bank for at least 5 years. And then when they are used, I get a certificate or I get an email sent to my email, and it'll let me know the age of the patient, the gender of the patient, and the area that it's been, the area in the world. Where
So it's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
Right. Oh wow.
So the majority of mine, I think I've had 3 used in Canada.
Yeah.
I've had around 3 or 4 in Amsterdam. They're like my 2 main countries that mine seem to go to.
Right, okay.
I've had Great Marsden. I'm not sure where that is.
Not sure where that is, no.
And I've had, my last one was actually in Manchester.
Wow.
I know. And I think there is a few others in there, but off the top of my head I can't remember. I've had about 8 or 9 altogether.
Yeah.
But I've got that many stored that even in years to come, I'll forever be getting emails.
Saying that?
Yeah, saying where they've gone to and the age.
And how does that make you feel when you receive that
Oh
email?
God, the first one I cried.
Did you?
The first, because we didn't ever get it, they didn't ever give us information to start with. Obviously I've been there a long time.
Yeah.
So after about 4 or 5 years, they did start giving us information on where it's gone to.
Yeah.
And the first one I got, oh God, I bawled my eyes out. It was a little girl under the age of 4 years old.
Oh wow.
And even though I go and do my job every day, you're doing the same thing every day, so it just becomes normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're going, oh yeah, I banked a good one, and then you're just excited to see if what you've banked is good enough to be used for transplant.
Yeah.
And you didn't see anything further than that. So actually hearing that I've saved a little girl's life and knowing it's actually done something, it felt more real.
Yeah.
And God, yeah, it did.
Rather than you were just doing something for like nothing in a way, not seeing the results sort of thing. Yeah.
And it did, it just touched me. And then I've had another one, I think a 32-year-old male.
Oh wow.
So just things like that, you just know it's real and it hits home a little bit more.
Especially when you probably got someone of similar age to yourself.
Exactly. It makes it does. It just
puts
makes
life into perspective.
Exactly. Well, any age, it's you know you've helped somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you just see it, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel proud of your job and what you do.
Oh, amazing. I think it's a brilliant thing that.
Oh, it is. Well, a lot of people haven't heard of it before.
Yeah.
And like you say, because we only work in 5 hospitals in the UK,
Yeah.
we're charity funded, so we actually work within the hospital as part of the charity. We don't actually work for the NHS, which people think we do.
Right.
So you get people like Oldham Hospital phoning, oh, do you do it at this hospital? And it's like, no, unfortunately we don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the hospitals that we work at, we choose them hospitals because there's more of a mixture of different ethnicities, and they've got a shortage of that. So the majority of people that donate from the UK are white British.
Right.
So the majority of the cord blood that they are banking was white British.
Yeah.
And obviously there's people now of different ethnicities, different blood types, and there's rare blood types that we need, and you're not going to get them until you get a good mixture.
Yeah.
Of ethnicities. Yeah. So now we prioritise the ethnicities. And believe it or not, we also this sounds really, really bad, but we prioritise stressed babies.
Oh,
stressed babies during delivery produce more stem cells, and I won't mean stress like maybe an emergency C-section or a forceps delivery. Yeah. Them babies seem to produce more stem cells.
Wow.
I'm not sure why. I'm guessing they're fighting off, or do some struggle before they deliver in the baby in the belly anyway. Yeah. But they do produce more stem cells, and so do male babies.
Wow.
So we do kind of prioritise them as well.
Male babies and stressed babies.
So stressed babies, male babies, we're right there.
I think it's mad that male babies produce more stem cells than female. That's quite interesting as well.
I mean, maybe it could be something to do with the strength of males. Obviously, they are meant to be. I don't know. I could just be making that up, but.
Well, you don't know,
something to do like with stem cells. Like they're amazing. I went on holiday to Bali one year, and I was speaking to a couple over there in the pool that I met, and they were saying that you get stem cells in baby teeth, and I know, and I didn't know that. And they didn't know you got stem cells out of blood from a placenta as well.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know anything about it until you said anyway.
I didn't. It was Danny's mum that told me. Yeah. My partner's mum told me about the job, and even when I applied for it, I didn't know what it were. Yeah. It was only that I started working there I realised what you do.
What it was all about,
But the job itself, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The other hospitals as well. We should be doing this soon, but we've not started doing it just yet. You know the sac, the amniotic sac of the baby that the baby's in?
Oh, yeah.
So, one of the hospitals have actually started taking samples of that.
Right.
So, it can treat eye surgery. It does some sort of...
What, the sac?
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know what it does.
Right.
They have told me, but it's very scientific, and I cannot explain that to you. But all I know is the stem cells is in the amniotic sac. Yeah. And they can do stem cells surgery for your eye with it.
So like repair your eye?
Basically it repairs your eye.
Wow.
And when I found that out that we was going to start doing it, I did actually bump into a patient, and when I was explaining about stem cells, the patient actually looked up at me and told me he has actually had that done.
With his eye?
With his eye.
Wow.
Which surprised me because I thought it was a new thing. Obviously I didn't have too much. Yeah. And I was just shocked and surprised that I've actually met someone that's had it done.
Actually already had it done. Wow.
So obviously we're a research company, and that's what the job is, it's research, so they're
might
always
have been even a tester.
Yeah, and they're always looking into things, and obviously the amniotic sac is also rich in stem cells as well.
Amazing.
So I know.
That's madness.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Some babies are born in that sac as well, aren't they?
I mean, the whole time I've been there, I've seen plenty C-sections, but I've seen them nearly be born in the sac, but they've not. There's pops before they've delivered, unfortunately.
So does the sac still come out?
Yeah,
right, so the sac does come out.
Yeah, the sac still comes out.
Right.
And it's kind of left as the membranes, like on the placenta.
Ah, yeah, I get you, yeah.
yeah, so the sac still has to come out, the whole placenta has to come out, like it can make a patient really poorly.
Yeah.
It can actually, cause death.
Yeah, I was going to say it can kill you.
Yeah, it can kill you, yeah. But yeah, they are very interesting. We do have to get the placenta within minutes of it being delivered.
Right.
So we have to be there basically at birth.
Straight away.
If it's a normal delivery, delivering in the room, like, we don't wait in the room. We only stand in the corner later. Obviously in the room, you don't want every little audience while you're delivering a baby, do you?
Yeah. But you're sort of like waiting.
Yeah, we can see, we're informed by the midwife that she's fully in pushing, and then by the time she's delivered, the midwife will just hand us the placenta in the box. And then we go and take it on our little trolley.
So do you put it, is it in a box with ice?
No, if it was in a box it's got to be warm. We've got to keep it as warm as anything. So obviously...
That's a bit different.
I know. So obviously as the baby's been born, the baby and the placenta's inside, so it's going to be warm.
Yeah.
The warmer you keep it, the easier the blood will flow when you insert your needle. If it gets cold, then it starts clotting. Right. And then the blood won't be good enough to be used. And then as soon as we collect the placenta, the cord blood from the placenta, it's got to go straight into the fridge.
Oh wow.
And then it's got to be kept at a certain temperature for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can go in the fridge after we've collected it, so that we can store it.
Yeah.
And so it can be frozen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't.
You've got to keep it warm until you get that blood.
We wrap it up in an Inco.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and warm.
Oh.
And then by the time we've got it and stuck a needle in, the cord is sometimes still pulsating.
Right.
So you can feel the cord like pulsating and the blood like shaking through the needle. I love it. I love it. I'm a vampire.
I'm a vampire.
Call me a vampire.
Right, let me show you